Hello everyone and welcome back to another set seed video. In today's video we are doing a seed that I found in a random run on stream. Yeah, absolute crazy seed. Well, the craziest part about this seed is the nether. The overworld's decent. Very basic overworld, but very decent at that. But the reason this run isn't a personal best or anything good, and not even world record or anything like that, is the fact that the blind travel was absolutely dreadful. So yeah, the nether in this is godly. The overworld's above average for sure, I would say. Like, seems very average now, but you'll see why it's above average for sure. It's very basic, but honestly, like, these basic things are fine. You just need to get into the nether with enough iron and food. You don't even need like enough iron for a pickaxe necessarily, but it's just much easier and much faster if you can get enough. But yeah, a bit of food, your iron, and that's it. That's all you want to go into nether with. That's all that matters about going into nether in runs like this. So even if it does seem as basic as me getting iron and physically smelting it, rather than getting like a bunch of iron out of a shipwreck, it's still honestly just as optimal. As long as you get your 7 iron and a bit of food and you go into the nether, you're fine and dandy, one might say. So yeah, in this seed, when I was doing the run, I was on world record pace. I blinded out of the nether. I think it was about 10 minutes, maybe closer to maybe a little closer to 11, I guess, actually, which isn't absolute god tier pace. But honestly, I've had some blind travels where, in fact, plenty of people have had some blind travels. Like, loads of people have had blind travels close enough to where it would be world record. You know, if I just got that good enough blind travel. And if not, you know, a really godly blind travel is quite a lot to expect. So, you know, like, the fact that this wasn't even a personal best is crazy. Like, the stronghold that I went to, yes, I actually go to a different stronghold in this set seed than the one I went to in the run. And I'll be able to tell you why after you see the nether. But yeah, both strongholds were super far away. The one I go into in this is technically further away on coordinates, but is much easier and much more practical to get to than the one that I went to in the random run. But both were so far away off like optimal coordinates that, well, there's no way I would have gotten anything absolutely crazy, but there still could have definitely been a PB if I got at least a bit closer. Because the terrain on the one that I went to was just so bad. Like, I had pearls, I pearled a lot, I just tried to move as fast as possible, it just did not matter. And the actual stronghold itself was really like bad as well. Like, the portal room was as far away from the starter staircase as possible. I also mess up this portal. This is like the one time I mess up this portal, and I love that I do it in the run that's actually decent. But yeah, this run was killed by blaze rods and trades like plenty of times. But I'd say the thing that killed this run the most times was the actual Ender Dragon. Honestly, I was on many sub 10 pace runs. So we'll see here. Look, Fortress and the Bastion's right there to the right attached to it. And another thing about this seed, the opposite direction of where I just came out, there was another Bastion about 100 blocks away. So there was, within like 150 blocks, there was 2 Bastions and a Fortress. Obviously, on like any sort of really good pace run, you're never going to go for the second Bastion, but it's just, that kind of generation's crazy. Like, if you remove this Bastion, this would still be a really good seed because of the other Bastion. So I just thought that was really cool. But yeah, honestly, these runs were killed the most by the Ender Dragon. So this was the best I could get. I did really try for a sub 10, and I had many runs where I could have gotten a sub 10, but the Dragon just screwed me so many times today. Last, on the Gavin seed, it was blaze rods. On this seed, it was the Ender Dragon that just owned me. And I feel I'm happy that I got a 10xx. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you the exact time. You guys have to see for yourselves. But, felt like it was fighting a losing battle going against that dragon. So yeah, right here I'm doing manhunt strat with housing. I try and gather as many piglins as possible. That's why I'm like kind of walking here. I get absolutely charged by those guys. So I'm like, okay, crap, I need to like move a little bit. And I had this in the actual run as well. I looked behind, and there's not even that many. Like, there's like 4, and I swear I saw like 10 on me. I don't know where they all disappeared to. I tried to figure it out. I couldn't figure it out. I blocked every hole that was like appropriate to block, and it just didn't seem to make much of a difference ever, to be honest. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened to those guys. The same thing happened to me in the random run actually as well. And what I do so differently and why I go to a completely different stronghold is because in the random run I have a super low amount of pigs like this, and I made the decision, because I got a quick fire res trade as well, to go and kill blazes at the same time, like try and task overlap. I think that's why I got such a good like time, even if like my rod rates weren't that great and I didn't have that many piglins. I made up for it by overlapping, you know, which is really, really decent. But you know, I checked to see if there was a stronghold that was closer to the fortress, because the stronghold that I went to was in the opposite direction, because it was just more convenient. It was, yeah, it's much easier to get to from the fortress after getting blazes, and that's probably what I should have done in the random run. But how far away the fortress actually is, stronghold, sorry, how far away the stronghold is on both, it's like I don't think it would have mattered. Like the blind on both strongholds at like optimal coordinates is just too far to even attempt. Like to even think there would be anything crazy. It wouldn't be anything crazy. Again, could have possibly been PB if I went for the one that I go to in this, but you know, it doesn't really matter. I went to the wrong stronghold, so what am I supposed to do? And both were super far away anyway. But yeah, in the actual random run, I was on world record pace, which is a really nervous feeling to be on, to be honest. Like I've been on world record pace a few times now, which is crazy, you know, because I just got sub 20 not too long ago, and I've been on quite a few world record pace runs, but honestly, every single one just got kind of destroyed by blind travel. Blind travel is by far the most important component to a speedrun, by far. Rod rate's pretty important. Obviously, anything else that like makes or breaks the run from an instant reset is important, because of how far into a run a blind travel is, you know, if you take an extra 30 seconds in a bastion, if you take an extra 30 seconds to a minute to get rods, that could all be completely made up for by the blind travel, which is like crazy, you know. If you get like, if you spend like an extra, let's say a minute 30, if not 2 minutes in total with the bastion and fortress, like more than you would normally want to, if your blind travel is like 400-500 blocks less of like, you know, not great terrain, maybe 500 blocks less or something of not great terrain, it just instantly makes up for it. Or if like, you know, you blind onto like a exposed ocean portal room, like it was in the Gavin seed as well. That's another reason why the Gavin seed is so godly. In this, I really struggled to get exactly into the stronghold. There was multiple occasions where I spawned me like really high up, and I would have had to dig down and out. You know, that just kills the pace of the run a bit too much. But yeah, as hard as I did try to get sub 10, this proved to be extremely difficult. The Gavin seed, I feel like I got so like mechanically, I was so mechanically like inclined with that one. Like that one was just clicked for me. Whereas this one was just so much more. Even though they're both RNG based, this one just felt like I got screwed by RNG more, if that makes any sense. You know, the dragon in this really, really did destroy me. In the Gavin seed, I would definitely say blaze rod rates were the run killers, but in this, the dragon, the perch in this is decent. Like, you know, it's not crazy good, but it's definitely not crazy bad. I had plenty of sub 10able runs, but the dragon was just like, yeah, no, bro, I'm not letting you sub 10 me, none of that. But yeah, honestly, in the actual run, like, I was blinding out with it, like, you know, 2 minutes later than what I'm doing now in a set seed run. Obviously, in this, I blind straight into the stronghold, so it's a bit more convenient for me, but still, like, in the actual random run, I just played it decently. Also, the end fight is really cringe, by the way. It's really bad, so mentally prepare yourselves for this. Yeah, it's super late for me, and I've just been like absolutely grinding this. I did get this 10xx, and then I just kept going. I tried to keep going to get a better time, but guys, I just couldn't. So I do apologize for that. I do plan on doing the world record seed though, the new one. So for me, when I'm recording this, the world record just got broken, the first ever sub 14 by Illumina. So I would really like to do that seed. I also still want to do the old world record seeds as well and try and run them back, see the times I could get on that. And also, if anyone doesn't mind or like, you know, is interested, just let me know in the comments if you prefer me to do it in like this format where I just commentate over the run and like just the run itself, or do you prefer me, you know, showing off the seed a bit beforehand as well. The Gavin seed, it felt appropriate because of how crazy the seed was through and through. Like the whole seed was mental. And we see the Dragon Persian here, and this is where it's going to be painful. Whereas this seed was crazy in the nether, but the rest of it was like, especially the strongholds. And then, yeah, so I mess up. I actually get the misplaced respawn anchor is the one I actually like do the most damage with, funnily enough. I messed up my second one really badly. And I end up having to axe the dragon, which honestly I never do. This is probably like the second or third time ever I've ever like actually axed the dragon, which is crazy. Absolutely crazy. But yeah, so it's about to end here any second, and that ends with a 10:33. So yep, that is my final time. Not absolutely insane, as you could have probably told. It could have been better with better blazewood rates and maybe a little bit of a faster perch. And if the trades were a bit faster with like if I had more piglins, you know. So, you know, that was hard to get down, to be honest. That really challenged me, that did. I'm glad I got 10xx. I could have really gone for a sub 10, but as I said, it's like really late for me and I've really played that seed to death, and I could go the rest of my life without seeing that seed again happily. But yeah, but stay tuned. I'm going to be doing some of the world record seeds soonish, as soon as I can. Try and get a very good time on all of those. And yeah, anyway guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you enjoyed the rest of your day. Peace out.